Hi, I'm Beth, and this is how I live my work.
Hello, welcome to Living the Work. Today we have a very special guest. I try to bring people that I admire and that I feel like a authentic energy. So I thought of you, and I'm really also interested on your work and the way you handle life and everything.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, diving right in, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Beth. I am a wife and a mother to two little kids. One of them's 5 and one of them's 3. It's a boy and a girl. My 5-year-old just started kindergarten today. So the tears went prior, and then when she got to the doors, I'm like, oh, I'm good. I can do this.
How did she handle it?
She did well. She walked in and she got to sit by one of her really good friends, and she did really good. So
That's awesome.
yeah, I'm also a hematology / oncology nurse. So I work 3 days a week in an outpatient infusion clinic and just hanging chemotherapy. I work with like some renal patients and GI patients too to hang some of their infusions. And then I'm a stay-at-home mom for 2 days of that week, which is cool. So I get like the best of both worlds.
It's so interesting. How did you get for it to be a couple days on, a couple days off? Like, how do you manage to get that?
Yeah, I have a nursing, like inpatient nursing schedules. They usually only work 3 days a week, and that's a full-time schedule for nursing staff. So they work 3/12. So I worked in another facility in San Antonio while I was inpatient. I told my husband, like, I would really love to go part-time once we have kids. I want to spend time with them. I want to be a mom as much as possible, because that is my mission, is to like be a mom and nurture them and be there for them and not just send them off for like some people don't have that opportunity to just watch their kids at home when they have to work, but my husband is amazing and he takes most of the household income. And so I was able to go part-time once I had my daughter Bryn, and I was only able to work 2 12-hour shifts at that time when I was working inpatient. And then I said, you know what? It was hard to even work 2 12s because when they're little, they go to bed at 7. They wake up, they wake up at 7. And so I didn't see her for like 2 days straight. And I said, I need to find something better that's like a better work-life family balance. And so my friend pulled me back to a facility that I worked with at the beginning when I first started my nursing journey. And we did an outpatient infusion clinic. So I got to work, I work just certain days of the week, and then I have 2 days off, which were my 2 days with the kids. And it was cool. And now Bryn's in kindergarten. So now I just get time with my son, Easton. And it's just, it's really awesome that I can kind of like live the best of both worlds, like a work-life family balance.
Yeah, that's awesome that you literally like search for the setup that would work for you. Yeah, you didn't settle for like, oh, well, this is my life. Like you search for something that would match both your career and, your family goals, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. And what does your husband do?
He's part of a roofing company my dad started, and now my brother-in-law owns it. And so he's a roofing consultant, and he sells roofs here in San Antonio, Helotes, area. So he is able to, he works Monday through Friday. And then he has one cell phone, so people call him on the weekends with like leaks and stuff. But he's able, his schedule is pretty flexible to where he's able to add in time and block out his days, like if there's like a family event or if he needs to pick up the kids. So it really, and my brother-in-law is awesome and understands that because he has kids too.
Oh, like it's a family business.
It's a family
like you have
business.
Flexibility. Oh, that's good. So
really
it works for, that way you can work as a team too, like whenever needed.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then how did you get into this choice?
It's interesting because I feel like I thought about this and I was like, you know what? I'm not sure
how.
I'm not sure how, but I am a 3rd-generation nurse. So my grandma was a nurse, my mom was a nurse, and I was a nurse. And my my brain now, I'm like, well, it's because I want to care for people. But no, it was because I saw the stability in a nursing job. They are always going to need nurses. And then I saw career advancements, and I saw how many job opportunities that nursing has. And so if I don't like one thing, I could go to another, and I can go to another. But it ends up that I'm just staying in the same thing that I started in, which is really cool. I tried management. It wasn't for me. I thought of myself as being someone higher up the ladder, but it just didn't work with my family life balance. And so like that was my number one thing is family life balance in my kids and my husband and providing. And I stepped down from an interim management job. And I was like, I'm going to have a kid and I want to go part-time. And I don't even want to be a charge nurse when I was inpatient at that time, because the job load, that wasn't my priority. You know, at that time when I first had my kid, I had to switch my way of thinking. I still care for my patients and still love my patients, but it was just another stressor that I was able to recognize while I was at work and that I was able to back off of. So it's just.
But that takes a lot, because that's a lot of like knowing yourself.
Yeah.
And knowing, how to best, act to what your body and your life goals are telling you. And not just thinking about it, but acting on it. That's brave.
Yeah.
That's like, not everybody, like I feel like some people are like black and white. Either I work or I don't work.
Yeah.
Or either I'm into this career and I'll be successful, or now I'll be a mom.
Yeah.
And it's like you were able to kind of like seek the way, and still are, because like I see it as a stage in a way. Like we see stages with the kids and so forth. Like you're saying, she's going to school now.
Yeah.
So things start to change, and then probably eventually like they will be independent, and then you can seek maybe a management then. Like it's something that.
And it's super interesting because once I had my management job, it took me away from my patient care. And that's why I started nursing, was to take care of my patients. I then became the person that came into the room and said, how is your nurse doing today? How are you being treated? Which was a cool conversation, but I wasn't actually caring for the patient. I'm pediatric. So I was talking to the families more than I was actually caring for the patient. And that like took a piece of my purpose and work. So I'm like, I will forever. I always thought, gonna go back to school, be a nurse practitioner, do education. But it also takes away from the bedside care. And that's why I went into nursing, or that's what I fell in love with nursing and these kids and the families and taking care of them.
And why pediatric? Were you always like kid oriented?
Yeah, at the time I had like 11 nieces and nephews.
Oh wow.
So my sisters and brothers are all older than me, and I loved seeing them. I actually, when I started nursing, I went into an interview and I went into an adult oncology interview. For some reason in nursing school, oncology was calling me. Like I needed to be with these patients. I don't know what it was. I'm like, I could be a light. Like I could give them hope. I don't know what it is. I thought adult oncology was it. They didn't give me it. Like they called me for an interview and didn't give me a call. They're like, you'll hear back from us in a couple weeks. And I said, okay, I'm going to go to the job fair again. So I go to the job fair. I turn in my resume for the pediatric oncology. I'm like, well, I'm like great with kids. Like, I think I could do this. This seems a little scary, like just a lot of scary to having someone's kid as a first job in nursing. And I was like, I could do this. And they're like, we don't take new grads. And I said, please put in my resume. I feel like I can do this. And they were like, oh, okay. So they called me. I got the job. I was scared. I got a whole textbook on like all the diagnosis and what I need to do. And I read it. I read a whole textbook before I even started my job, because I was like, I think I need to know what I'm talking about. These parents are like, you know.
And you weren't a mom at the time,
they're confining
right?
me. Yeah, I wasn't a mom at the time. Yeah.
So like the empathy is different, right?
Yeah, it was 5 years in my nursing career until I became a mom.
Oh, wow.
And so it was just, or maybe 6 years. But it was just, I think I have my heart like pulls toward these families, because I'm like, the pediatric oncology, everybody's like, that's so sad. And I'm like, no, I know it's sad, but like, I feel like I'm like honored to be their nurse. I'm honored to be a part of this journey, because it's not a short journey. Some of them are with us for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
getting chemotherapy. Some of them were with us for 6 months. And it's just like, I want to be the constant in their life. And I want to tell them that there's hope and we can do this, like part of their team.
That's amazing. I mean, I feel like the strength, I normally prepare myself a little, but on this one, you know, being a mom and everything, I'm like, you know, it's just impressive to think the strength that it takes, you know, and also the type of personality that you need to have. I feel like I was saying right now, like you do have this good energy and like authenticity, which brings this to the table, I guess, onto your patients being lucky to have that kind of personality is nearby, you know, because like you're saying, not everybody will do it. And some people will do it, but more onto the, you know, whenever you think about doctors or nurses, you think of more of like a cold side, you know, like just strict to the book,
I gotta do what I gotta do.
And you rarely see these personalities that are out of the box, you know, like, and I've worked with great doctors and, you know, with my kids and everything, but I feel like it is really unique, the area where you're at and the way you talk about it. It's just kind of like fulfilling, I guess. So I guess for the parents, it's just like calming in a way to have someone like you there. I don't know, like I cannot imagine.
Fulfillment's like a big word because I feel like that's my purpose. Like my purpose is to be a mom and be a wife, and then it's to have those kids at work. I told my husband I will work until I am at retirement age and I can't walk in a clinic anymore. You know what I mean? I tell him because I just feel like it's filling my cup. It's my purpose in life to be there for those kids. I'll get emotional about it, but it's just so cool. Like you can be in the room with the parents and you can cry with the parents. Like since you have kids, I remember being inpatient. I had to go hang a chemo in the ICU on a pediatric patient.
Wow.
He was the same age as my daughter. I'll still get teary-eyed about it. I was sitting there in tears because I was like, I can't go into that room. I can't even look at that mom. Wow, I didn't mean to get emotional.
No, I mean, of course.
I can't even look at that mom. Like I don't even know what to say to her because I'm just going to break down crying. But I went into that room and all she needed was a cry sesh with me. And so it was just like, as I had kids, it became harder because you start putting yourself in that spot. What if this was my kid? But also that made me a better nurse. That made me have more empathy toward them and just learn another perspective that I didn't have before I had kids. And so that really, I always thought maybe I'll be a stay-at-home mom. And then I thought, no, this fills my cup. This is my purpose. I can be the light in the room. I will bring God into it because I always say a prayer before I go into work, especially when I was inpatient. It was like, let them see you and me. Let them hear you when I speak. Let them hear you when I breathe, all of those things. Let me be their light in their room because right now it's super dark and they're going through the hardest part that these patients and families will ever have to go through.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that was, I cannot even imagine, that was my question because like you're saying, now that we are moms, did it impact your decision of becoming a mom? Whenever you become a mom, we all have this fears, right? You do all these tests and you do these things and you're like, but nobody's, free of nothing. We just have to trust, like you're saying, and to do the best we can with our health and with what the doctor says and whatnot. So I feel like when you're living that life, the way you're living it, it's so strong and, and so positive, but still when you're a mom, it's different because now you're talking about your life and you see it just in a different way. Did it impact you on that decision of I don't know,
Yeah, I truly got so much anxiety being a mom, knowing all the nursing things. It was just oh, my daughter has Pedi Oncology world. That's all I've ever known as a nurse. I know pediatrics, I can take care of a kid. But when someone asked me about, some other nursing absurd question, I'm like, I don't know. I just know Pedi Oncology. That's all I've ever known. And so I'm like, I can tell you if your kid has cancer, those things. So as being a mom, I think I was a little bit more on edge. I'm like, oh my gosh, my daughter has a ton of bruises and she's complaining about her head hurting a lot. And it gave me this whole new anxiety, but then also just whenever I had my son Easton, and the complications with his birth, it gave me like, I need to trust in God's plan. Like, I need to give up the anxiety and I need to trust in his plan and just be like, he's going to take care of me. So I need to give my anxiety to him. And it's given me like a new look on motherhood and like just calming my heart a little bit instead of like comparing it and being at work and, you know, sometimes like my kid's throwing up and my husband's like, are you sure you should give Tylenol and Motrin together? And I'm like, yes, I'm a nurse. I know this, you know, like, it's just so funny.
Yeah.
And he's, you know, it's like, I'm a nurse, but I'm also a mom. And it's just like, it's a mix. The worlds kind of clash in a way, but for the better, because I'm able to see a whole new perspective on my kids being healthy. And my kids, you know, I will cry at a ballet recital, like sob. I will cry at my kid hitting a T-ball off the post and hitting the back fence. Like, why am I like that now? I don't know. It's been ever since I've had my son. And I just feel like it's a whole new perspective. And sometimes my husband is so great. He'll put me in check. He'll be like, Beth, like, you have kids at work that are potentially dying. And you are complaining about something that, you know, one of the kids is doing, and I'm like, oh, like, it's like a deep breath. Like, he literally keeps me in check all the time because I'm like, you're right.
The perspective.
He doesn't know what I do, but he knows what I do. Like, you know, it's like I'm constantly a caregiver. Yeah. Like, there's no break in caregiving, and it's children, and I have kids screaming at me at work while I'm poking them, you know, poking for their port, and they're like the same age as my daughter, and then like, I go home and my kids are screaming at me. It's like a constant, like, he's like, but Beth, they're healthy and they're here. And I'm like, you know what? You're like 100% right, because it could not be that way tomorrow. And like, just little things.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like, I didn't see it that way on like, it makes you value every little thing even more so. Yeah. Without taking into account that I think that's one of the things that I've told either future moms or moms that are now even going through something, and even myself, I remind myself, right, like, we just have to give in to control. Yeah. It's just like that flexibility and that kind of like trust and faith, like you're saying, and being like, you know, there's whatever you believe that it's above you, you know, like, just trust that, you know, you cannot do it all and you cannot control everything, and you will be a better version of yourself and for your family if you, you know, let a little space to wonder and to like life and to like enjoying these little things, like to kind of like pull back and be like, okay, like he does with you. I mean, that's an amazing way of doing it. It's like, just like, but hold it. Like, we were just talking about it. Like, sometimes we can be objective and be like, okay, don't do this. You know, you're a big kid, mostly when you have a couple kids, not just one. And then you start talking about the baby on the room. And so you grow your other ones in a minute. And then it's like, but he's still a mini 5, a mini 8, a mini 10. Because when you look at a kid outside your family that it's lower than, like, younger than 10, they're mini. They're like tiny. They don't know better. And it's like, so then like, you just need to like, kind of like
pull back. Down. It's like a perspective. Pull back, like, rethink it. My 5-year-old is not like the responsibility, like, you know, she's not, they're like, I call like all children. I'm reading a book and it calls the children as immature children. And truly, children are immature. So can we be like, it's one in one, but like, they just, I'm like, okay, children are immature and they need help. Like, it's kind of funny how it's worded, but like, they need help and they're immature. I can't grow up my 5-year-old because I think that she can do everything now because I have a 3-year-old. Exactly. Like, that's not, I'm doing a lot for him and she still needs help with things and I don't need to grow her up any faster than what I'm doing. Like, come on, let's go, you know? Yeah,
I guess it's just natural, because we're human too. Yeah. So we just try to make things happen. And when you're a working mom, or parent, you know, things can get a little overstimulating sometimes. So you just kind of like react, I guess, the best you can, and kind of like ask for help if you can at all. So if you looked back on the last 5 years, what are the lessons that have changed you the most? Because I feel like you were just mentioning right now, like, you weren't you jump into this world and this calling, and it was already kind of like strong enough of a reason and of a life choice, and then you became a mom and a wife, and you started balancing out. So I guess you learned so much, like you were saying, from this. So what would you say are the like a couple, like it doesn't need to be 5, but a couple of lessons that you think like these things have like literally been the milestone to, you know, what has made me be the way I am today?
Yeah, I'm a very disciplined person. I did volleyball. I grew up in sport world, and it's very disciplined, and you have to be this way. You can't do these things outside of sports, or else you might get in trouble and you won't be able to play the sport. And it's just like a very competitive atmosphere. And I just think that being disciplined and just knowing, I think ever since I had my son and his complications with birth, just knowing that I am not the one in control. And like everything that I try to control, I'm going to be disappointed with. Okay. You know, if something goes wrong, it's going to be a disappointment instead of an opportunity to learn. So I just feel like discipline and knowing that I'm not in control and that God is in control in my life. And my marriage and my kids and my work, however that looks, I need to, in a way, I need to rely on him because I can't do these things alone. That's my lesson. Like, I cannot be a mom alone. I need, even if I didn't have my husband who's amazing and will take the kids and do things with the kids, so that way I have some time to breathe. You know, like I just like, there's something else that I need. And it was able, since I had my son, just like, I'm not in control if he lives or dies. So God is in control. So like, I need to give up my control in my life. And so I just feel like the lesson is just being disciplined in knowing that I'm not in control of this life. Like, this is God's plan, and whatever he has planned for me today, tomorrow, the next day, like it kind of gives me less anxiety about everything. It just is like at work, at school, like all these things, just giving it up to him is my big lesson, because I don't think I knew that before. And it built anxiety before, and I don't have I don't have any, you know, I don't have like the mom anxiety, and I need to do this and this and this and the work, and I
like
need
letting
to
go of a little of
I
it
need
all.
to let go. And sometimes I have a hard time. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm in control. We need to do this and this and this and this. And, you know, you have to have structure, and you have to build routine in a household. But just the little things. Like, if that went the wrong way, like, it's gonna be okay. There's a reason why, you know.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think definitely consistency and like a structure. It's ironic to say structure but flexibility, but it's the real thing. It's like, you know, you need to control stuff but also let go. So it's like kind of like that give and take, or flexibility of the actions, in order to like not be too relaxed where you don't have, you know, like a system going on whenever you have all of those things to manage, because it's instead of control, I would say it's to manage, because that's what it is. You know, you manage a system, a family system, you know, your work schedule, your way of life and everything. So it's more of that. I think that's the way I've been trying to move it in my mind too. Like,
no, that's a good, I like that. You're managing. Instead, you're the manager. Yeah, we're not in control. We're a manager.
But in a different way.
In a different way.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
Okay, so, and then with all of what you do, as a wife and as a mom, it is challenging enough to control your emotions and to not want to, like, not fall into burnout. And you work out and you take care of yourself, and your husband works out. So how do you guys work this dynamic of not burning out on the regular marriage, work, kids dynamic, but also on that emotional part that you, like you're saying, you have on your job, that even if it's like not full week, it is really demanding. Like, you need to probably be super grounded. So how are you able to like manage
all of it? I truly think I started working out early mornings now. And that has created my start to my day. No matter what, I have accomplished something in the morning. It was for myself. It didn't interfere with anybody else's schedule.
Yeah.
And my husband works out too. And I think we do it to stay healthy for our kids. Like we do it so we can go running while they're on their bikes and we can keep up with them. And we can lift them in the air and throw them in the air. And just like the longevity of the workout first thing in the morning has made us feel good. And just in our marriage for each other. It's not only for kids, it's for us. We feel good all day. The energy is there, so that way we can provide for others. My husband and his job providing for others, climbing roofs, doing that thing outside in the heat, being there for my kids, and then being able to like work and walk. Like I get like 10,000 steps a day at work. Like plus some.
But you come exhausted and then you're like,
I come home exhausted, I flip a switch and I'm like, all right, we got to do dinner, we got to do bedtime, we got to get ready for the next day. I've got to prep my stuff in the morning, I prep at night, so that way in the morning I'm not in such a jamble, like my coffee, my collagen in it, my protein shakes, their lunches, like everything is, I'm very orderly and very structured person. I think it just creates success around everything emotionally and physically in our household. So I think that's helped a lot.
Did it give you like a different kind of like a level up experience with becoming a mom and all of what you deal with each stage and what you had to live through to reflect in your work and in your life? Like, I guess like whenever you become a mom, like your perspective shifts. And so now, were you a better nurse, you know, like to your patients, or were you more like emotionally attached towards you would have to maybe withhold a little bit of what you were giving in? Because I guess like, let's say like they demand 80% of your emotional load, right? Or presence. And the other 20 is for your husband probably. And then when you become a mom, now you have to hustle that emotional or energy load with your patients. And at home, did you have like trouble with that, or was it?
There's days that I have like a lot of trouble with it. And I have seen people be like, hey, I'm at 20%, I need you to cover the rest of me. And I think that's like a really great household thing to do. I'm not so good at doing it in my household and communicating it. But I also think sometimes my husband knows, like, I don't talk to him much about work, but I'm like, hey, I had a really hard day at work. And so like he ends up picking up all the things that maybe he cooks dinner and maybe he does the dishes. And the emotional toll that it takes, I can't do it by myself. I've learned to like just rely on God to get me through it. And it's just mentally and physically exhausting to go from work to being a mom and flipping that switch constantly. But like I said, I can't do that on my own. And it's my husband, it's my family support, my parents, his mom and dad, and even my sisters. I just have a good support system to where I could fall back on, like, hey mom, I really need a break for a second. Can you watch the kids? And I just think it's a hard task, but you can't do it on your own. As long as you know to communicate and reach out for help, I feel like is how I've done the best with it.
Yeah, like it's something that it sounds so easy, but you would never think that it's hard to do. You know, like just asking for help. Like that's something that sometimes when you have such a system, you just go on and go on and go on, and then you're like, why didn't I ask for these little things that make a difference, right? Or like.
And no, even definitely. If they say no, like I find a way around it. Like, okay, I'm going to take both kids to this thing with me and we'll be okay. Or like, hey Jay, can you watch the kids if you're going to come home early and do paperwork while I go to this thing? It's just, gives me a little bit of a break and it just helps out a lot. And I feel too, like the expectations, lowering the expectations has worked for me. Like instead of me, like my husband is like, just tell me the things. Like, don't expect for me to do it. Like, just tell me. Do the dishes or like do this, like just be specific. And if you're super specific, I'll do it. But if you don't tell me and then you're mad because I didn't do the dishes, then it's like, oh my God, like I wouldn't want to do them anyway. I'm like, okay, that's a good tip. I'm going to do that. And I started doing it, even with the kids, and it works. And he was like, oh my God, this is magic. I'm like, I did a work even, like do this. And I'm like,
this feels good.
Yeah.
It's like, but it's communication. It's just being open, because as girls, we try to dramatize stuff, be like, he should know that he should bring me flowers. So you're like, just bring me flowers. I started buying flowers for myself. I bought myself flowers. I was like, I'm going to buy myself flowers. And then he's like, you bought yourself flowers? I'm like, yeah, what's wrong with that? Like, I wanted flowers. I didn't want to load you with it. I bought my flowers. Like Miley Cyrus. I'm like, yeah, why not?
Literally. Makes me happy.
Exactly. I mean, it's just to help each other. Like you're saying, I mean, they also have, you know, it's a support system, you know, it's a team effort. It's not like, we don't want to be you know, just on top of each other.
We can't do it all. We can't do it all. Like we can't have this working
it's a team.
Mom life. It is a team. And even if that other person, like if there wasn't a father figure, like you still should find your support system and friends or other people that can help you. But I just think being a team is really, I don't always do it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not always, it's hard to be a team. And my husband's like, Beth, we are a team. I'm like, you're right. We're a team. I'm frustrated because they're screaming at me. You know what I mean? Like you're right. We're a team. I'm not getting mad at you. I'm just really mad at them. And like, it's just a thing. It's just normal.
It's survival mode sometimes. So just to close it out. When your kids are teenagers one day, what's one piece of career or life advice you hope to pass on to them?
Just like work hard. If you have goals, you need to work hard. And do hard things. Like God is going to help you through it. You do hard things. You have your family support system. If you're nervous about something, do it. Like, because I've always been that person. I have like this underlying anxiety to speak up at like a convention or something. And then I ask a question. I'm like, wow, that felt good. You know what I mean? It's just like speak up and be a leader. I just really think sports put me in a good position to be a leader. And it transferred over to being leader as a nurse, being a leader in the house. Like, you know, my husband's the main leader of the household, but like just, you know, being on a team as a leader with him. And so I just think doing hard things, being a leader, and not doing like what other people around you, not settling. You know, just like don't settle for things if you know you want something. Like you have to do hard things to get there. So do it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's perfect. That's great advice, and I support all of what you said. I do the same. Well, I appreciate you being here. Thanks so much for your time. Thank you so much for what you do. Honestly, respect. Like I don't know. I don't even have the words to describe it, but I think it's, you know, thank God that people like you exist and support this, because it's just a calling, I guess. So thank you.
And this was perfect because September is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month.
Oh, wow. So then it's special.
Doing this in August, but I feel like September is like, it's right around the corner. So people will be more aware of pediatric cancer and that it does exist, and it is rare, but it's there.
Yeah, hopefully it's rarer and rarer and rarer.
It's rarer and rarer and rarer. That's our hope.
Okay.
Hopefully it takes me out of my job. I'm just kidding.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, thanks for